7, we have a public hearing for a stop sign at Lombardi Drive in Wedgefield Lane. I approve for publication for Richard Key in the Eagle newspapers. The notification was indeed published, and proof of posting from Town Clerk Tracy M. Castleman that the notice is posted on the bulletin board at the proper time. Chief?
I've looked at the situation. It does meet the criteria. It's a key intersection, and that the stop sign would be stopping traffic as it entered onto the main road.
Comments, Chris?
I agree, but today my secretary called me. If you're going through some of her old papers, this was approved back in 1994.
Where's the sign? Where's the sign?
So I don't know where the sign was.
Statute of limitations.
So this is moot then, right? I agree with it.
So if we've already approved it, there's, well, we'll go
I don't know if it's in any record.
We'll go through it again.
Okay.
I'll open the public hearing at this time and solicit comments from those who are in favor of the stop sign. Would you come forward, please, and give us your name and address, please?
My name is Mike Hughes-Walker. I live at 8882 Lombardi Drive. I live right on the corner there since 1990. Whether or not we need a stop sign, I don't know, a little common sense goes a long way. Most of the problems I've seen there are from the people who live within the neighborhood. Don't have the common sense to look one way or another to stop, to let the traffic pass. If you want to put up a stop sign, you might as well put up 3. Make it a 3-way stop. You've done it in other neighborhoods and everything else like that, and that way there, maybe you can slow some of the people down on Wedgefield. You know, it's too many times, you know, people come off Lakeshore Road, make a big, wide, sweeping turn, and literally drive on the wrong side of the road to the back circles. Also, you know, you've got some of them that come in so fast, they literally almost drive up onto my lawn. I mean, they hit the concrete gutter there and cut the corner. So you want to put up one stop sign, I might as well put up 2 more, make it a 3-way stop. Maybe you can slow some of the people down. You know, if you want to put up a sign at all, and just one sign, make it a yield. That should be sufficient. But, you know, like I said, most of the problems I've seen are from people who live right within the neighborhood, who have been there before, know the area, but they seem to keep, you know, having these problems, you know, near misses. I've seen it more than once. And, you know, no knock on a PD chief, but, you know, I know you don't have the resources to, you know, post a man there and enforce it. You know, just before I came here tonight, you know, I'm sitting there in the kitchen. I can see Lakeshore Road. I can see the intersection there. 3 people literally blew through the stop sign there. Why? Because they didn't see any lights coming down the road. It's safe. They can go. You know, like I said, you can't post a guy there. You've got other problems. You've got, you know, major traffic problems here in the, you know, I understand this, you know, the problems with, you know, police resources and manpower. But, you know, the decision is up to you. You can do whatever you want. But a stop sign, no. Yield sign, yeah. And as far as that goes, I mean, you know, you've got 4 stop signs in the back with circles in them. Most of the people live in the back circle. And, you know, I'm not pointing fingers, but a lot of them barely even stop for those. And, you know, I can remember when the people came around with the petitions for those stop signs. They were worried about the kids. I said, yeah, okay, I'll sign it. But, you know, Lombardi Drive and Wedgefield Lane are public highways. They're not public playgrounds. You know, for the people who are worried about the safety of the kids, keep them off the streets. We had a little girl last year, 7 years old. Kid out there. Should have never happened. She should have never been out on the highway by herself. She had no parental supervision as far as I know. She didn't even have her safety helmet. Shouldn't have been there. The accident should have never happened. But it did. Because people feel it's their own little private domain and they can do whatever they want. But, like I said,
I have to ask you, are you for it or against it?
well, you know, I've got mixed feelings on it. That's why I raised my hand. I'm neither for it or against it. You know, I don't really think there should be a sign there. But you know, when I moved in, there was maybe 25 houses. Okay, now there's what, maybe about 100 or so in there. You know, most of the traffic in and out of there, it's not a neighborhood that has through traffic, like across from the old state police barracks or whatever, where all the stop signs went up there. You know, most of the traffic in and out of there are people going to work, or to school, or coming from work, or from school. The busiest times of the day are in the morning or at night. And that's when the problems happen. You know, from the people who actually live there.
You made a point, but unfortunately, we can't legislate common sense.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
We tried to.
I've tried for 26 and a half years.
And you also said that, you know, put the stop signs on to slow people. They're not a speed deterrent. We want to do that so people will come to a complete stop, obviously for the safety of the people that are on the street.
I understand it. I also seen people on Wedgefield turn onto Lombardi in front of cars coming up Wedgefield. That's why I say if you're going to put up one stop sign, you might as well put up 3.
Right.
But like I said, if you don't want to put up 3 stop signs, I think a yield sign would work just as well. Because like I said, I know the chief can't post a guy there to make sure people stop at that sign. Because you can't do it in the back where the 2 circles meet, and you certainly can't do it right at Wedgefield and Lake Street. So, no, I'm well saying, use your best judgment, yield or stop. Pretty much
Chief,
it.
what's your opinion of the 3 stop signs?
Well, I think I have to look at it for 3, but I don't think it's going to meet the criteria that I provided the board, which is the criteria the federal government's established for installing stop signs, because the problem we've run into is, as you said, that we put stop signs all over the town, and the problem is it creates more problems when we do that. And so we looked at what the federal mandates are for installing stop signs and the requirements, and that's, when they ask my opinion, that's what they're going to get. I'm going to evaluate it based on what the federal requirements are, not based on my opinion. And it doesn't, as far as I know, it won't meet the mandates for those federal guidelines for a stop, for a 3-way stop. It does meet it for a T intersection as you go onto a main road. I would like to go down there and look at it, and maybe we can come up with some different solutions. You and I can work together, maybe we can come up with a solution that can remedy this problem. Maybe it's not a stop sign, maybe it's something else.
Well, basically, you know, as I pointed out, it's just a lack of common sense. I mean, one of the first basic things you learn when you get your driver's license is that when you approach an intersection, you know, if you got to make the turn, you have to yield the right of way. Unfortunately, you know, like I said, you know, people are going, people are coming, they're in too much of a hurry, they just don't look. And the same thing coming in, you know, off there. You know, they cut the corner, they cut in front of other people coming down Wedgefield, you know, exiting the development. You know, I know you can't legislate common sense, but that's all it takes, is just a little common sense and a little common courtesy for, you know, all the other neighbors.
And Chief, I know in some of the neighborhoods you sent volunteers out distributing literature and just showing a little bit of more presence right in the neighborhood.
Well, there's other things we can try to do, and I'd like to talk to Mike about that and work with him, and maybe we can come up with some different ideas. I mean, we've got the speed sentry, we've got the other sign, posting a car out there, maybe looking at some different signage may be a possibility too. Maybe not a stop sign or yield sign, but different signage that may help. I don't know. I mean, I don't have the answer, but I think that we need to look at it and talk about it, and we can come up with a solution.
Well, the only reason I come up with a yield sign is because you do have a similar intersection right off of Lakeshore Belmore. You turn into off of Lakeshore onto Belmore, and you know, you got like a little sweeping curve, and you got another, you know, a circle that leads to, you know, you just close development, but there's a yield sign there. So.
And if the board, I mean, I'm not opposed to a yield sign, but it's really the board's discretion whether you want it or not. I mean, it does meet the criteria for a stop sign.
Well, why don't we just go through everything here, and then we can leave the meeting open, and then you can go out and look at other solutions to the problem, and then we can come back and make a decision at a future date.
Well, if anybody wants to get a hold of me, I'm home most of the time, so I'm right there.
I'll be looking up.
Okay. I'm there.
Thank you. Does anyone else like to speak in favor? Anyone would like to speak in opposition? We will leave this meeting open so that the chief can research other possible solutions to the problem. And we will have it at a future date.